We are now on chapter 2, lesson 3, which is adding link to web pages. And adding link to web pages is extremely important in web pages. It's really what makes it this interface so attractive for a lot of people. You can be in any website and you can be clicking around in different content. And what happens on a website, as you all know, you may not even think about it, but say you have, I'm going to just go to, I don't know, to a news place. I'm going to see Fox News. Alright, so I go to a website, any website, and you have content on that page. Okay, monitors off please, monitors off. So you have content on the page and you can see content that is relevant to you, and if you are interested in finding more information about that, you can go one level deeper and you can click on the link. This text happens to be a link. When you click on the link, it takes you to another web page that has more information about the information you're looking for. You also, on the page that you're in, you also have more links. Let's see if this one does or not. You can potentially find additional links down that even give you even more detail on the subject you're looking for. Wikipedia is a good example of that. The article didn't have any more additional links. I'm gonna look up for, I don't know, MAD. Okay, so say I look up an article about MAD, and there are many more. There are rabies, Moroccan, whatever. I can click on rabies. Maybe you can find more information about rabies. Maybe rabies is not what I'm looking for, but this page here is going to help. It's going to talk about central nervous system, which links me yet to another page. So I keep jumping over and over, all over the place, and these are all separate HTML files, but somehow there are several links on the same page to multiple files. And you can use the navigation bar on the top of your web browser just to go back and forth browsing subject and topics of interest. Okay? This ability to jump from one place to another is one of the things that makes the internet very powerful as far as the www goes. In chapter 2, lesson 3, you actually learn how to create these links, and it's very easy to do that. The example that the book's going to guide you through is by adding links to to this area here on the top. This is what they call a navigation bar. You're going to make those elements, those pieces of text, links to other pages. You can see that I actually don't have it on my website other than the SPA file, but at this point you should have had several of them, different ones. About Us, SPA, Cafe. What else you're supposed to have up there? Look on page 2-20. Step number 2 and 3. 3. Okay? You should have added what? In bold. Home. About Us. We already have that. SPA. We already have that. Cafe. And you should have added a fourth one. A fifth one. Activities. Okay? And those words, they will link up. Where does About Us going to link up to?
The About Us page.
About Us page. About Us, about_us.html. What about SPA?
SPA.
Dot?
HTML.
HTML. What about Cafe?
Cafe.html.
Cafe.html, and so on. What about Home? Index.html. Now this is a tricky part. Why would you need a link? What document do I have open right now? What file? What is this file that I'm looking at? Index.html. And yet I will have a link on index.html that links to index.html. This is a common practice, okay? Especially when you are going to be copying and pasting these elements for the navigation bar to other pages, other files on this website. you always need to be able to go back to the index page. You could, on this page, because you're in index, not have a links to index. But then you have to keep track of the element, which element is missing on which page every time you switch pages, right? So, always a good practice to put a link to itself on the page that you're in, okay? The process of creating links is very simple. Actually, they call this menu bar at this point. Navigation bar, menu bar. These names are interchangeable. They are going to always be somewhere easy to find. And you're going to notice that the text, the formatting of the text is a little different than the rest. On step number, there's two things that you're going to accomplish on page 220, which is first, creating a menu bar. You're going to type more items in there that you're missing. And then later, you're going to actually insert a horizontal rule. And you're going to insert this horizontal rule after the menu bar. So the way you do that is you're going to go back to the end of the cafe. You're going to press enter. Is it enter or a line break? Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be in front of the word welcome. And you're not going to create a line break, a paragraph, nothing. You're just going to insert it there. You're going to go to your insert panel. And you're going to go, well, actually, I'm sorry. Where's my insert panel here? I'm going to use it. Or does it tell you to go to the insert menu bar? No. Where's my insert bar? I actually don't have it. Okay. So my insert panel, I'm going to go bring it to the top here. Under common category, which I'm in, you're going to select the insert bar list, insert horizontal bar button. Okay, so make sure your pointer, your insertion point, is to the left of W of the welcome. You're going to click on that button right there, and boom, it's created. Now the thing that I want you to pay attention to is the code that was generated. On the HTML side of it, you see the welcome text right here. This is the code for the HR, horizontal rule. Okay? This creates, you're going to notice that we didn't specify what width this thing is in. We didn't say anything. It just created. And by default, the HR tag is going to create a horizontal rule across the width of the page. The interesting thing also about this is that if I actually preview this on a browser, let's see where Firefox is going to pop up, probably on the other screen. When it comes up, this horizontal rule is a dynamic element. And what that means is, right now, it goes all the way to the width of the window. But if I resize this window, you're going to notice that, I don't know if I'm going to be able to click in. Okay, I'm not going to go. See how the horizontal rule resizes dynamically as I resize the window? Okay, so at this point, the text is flowing, the horizontal rule is also flowing, and nowhere I told the rule what width you should have been. But if I click on it on the document window, you're going to see on the property inspector that I have the ability to actually determine the width and the height of the horizontal rule, either in pixels or in percentage. If I change to percentage, it's going to be a percentage of the screen size, the width of the screen size, the window. If I leave it in pixels, it's going to be a set width and it's not going to change no matter what size window it is. So it depends on what effect, visual effect you're shooting for. Okay? You also can change the way you align this. Either you want it aligned to the left, aligned to the right, or centered on the page. And I think later on it tells you to center this thing. But let's go to page 221, which tells you how to add links to pages. The process of creating links in Dreamweaver is fairly simple. What you want to do is you want to select the text. And in this case here, I just double-clicked because clicking and dragging to make selections on an iPad is going to be extremely hard. But but you select the text, and right away you're going to notice that on a property inspector, this is going to change, and one of the categories you're going to see in a property inspector is this link window. You can use this link window to create the link. There are two buttons that are important in here. These two guys. One is a aim kind of thing, and the name for this button, if you point to it and you tooltip it, is called point to file. And the second one is the one that you already know, which is a little folder icon, which is the browse for file icon. They work differently. They may look the same, but they actually do different things. If you use the browse for file, all you need to do is click on it. A dialog box is going to pop up, and all you need to do is to choose the file, to select the file that you want to link to, and you click on OK. Okay? And now if I click off of it, you're going to see that this cafe text on the menu bar has changed to blue font, to blue color. The font hasn't changed, and is also underlined. This is default behavior in Dreamweaver, which means that any text that you see that is blue and underlined is an unvisited link. Okay? You guys all probably have seen this before in Dreamweaver. If I preview this on Firefox, what this is going to look like is like this. And if I click on it, you go from the cafe page to the spa page. Now if I go, so I'm shifting pages now. If I click on the back button, I don't think it changed on my yet. I don't know. It is a darker blue, I think. Yes? I think it's a darker blue. Visited links are going to be displayed in a different color than unvisited links. And you can control this behavior. You can say, Dreamweaver, I don't want you to underline the links. I don't want you to change their colors. I don't want you to change the colors after they're clicked. You can do all that, but you're not going to do that right now. But these are all controllable. And these ones, the actions that you see are default. The trick that you're going to have is this. What people always make a mistake in here is this. Oh, well, I messed up on this link. I don't want this to be a link anymore. Your first instinct is going to be delete this cafe and rewrite it. And that will work. But another way that is easier without destroying content is actually going to your link panel, on a property panel, on the link field, and just erasing that information. And then pressing enter. Watch my screen. It's empty. I'm going to press enter, and this should disappear. So now that goes back to being a text. This is not a link anymore. The book also, something that people always do wrong. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it here. I don't think I can. Is what they do is when they are actually making links, they select the whole text, and they make this whole bar one link pointing to index. Okay? For some reason they misread the directions. You're supposed to select the items between the hyphens. So about us, you're going to select from A to S, select the whole thing here, and then you're going to link to the page about us. And you're going to skip the hyphen. The hyphen is not part of your link. You're going to select spa and cafe, home, and activities. Okay? They are all going to link to different files. Another thing that people always do in this class is they select all these things and they link all to index. So it looks right, but when they click on it, nothing seems to change. Oh, it's not working, Mr. Sun. And the reason is because they're all linking the same file, index. So it's not going to work. Okay? Are there any questions to this? Flip your page to page 2-22. In page 2-22, you're going to create something called an email link. An email link is a little different. It's a little different in which, let me see if I have one here. Oh, yeah, oops. This is a website version of Stripe Umbrella that looks a little different because this is from a student web 2. Okay? And in here on his website, you're going to see a link called Club Manager. If I click on this link, Club Manager, you're going to see that the link information is a little different. On the link information, you're gonna see this. It says on your book, step number 2 and 3 is going to tell you to highlight a text. I'm gonna highlight entertainment. Okay, this is just an example. You're supposed to type in you're supposed to go back here behind the phone number and then add that line by inserting, using this tool here on a common bar list arrow, the little envelope. And by inserting that element, you're going to get a dialog box. And I'm going to do it right now here. Oops, on the other screen. And this dialog box here is going to ask you what text you're going to want. And then you're going to type in Club Manager. And then email information is on step number 3. What that does is it creates a link that looks like this one, Club Manager. And what that does is, if you go in the bottom here on the property inspector on the link information, I don't have, let me see if I can, left arrow. Left, home. Okay. If you look at my screen, you're going to see that it creates a link called mail to. Whereas before, any of the link information you have was just a file name, activities.html. But in this case here, it creates a mail to : and then an email address. What this is it causes your browser, if people click on the link like that, it causes your browser to open its default email client. If you're using a Windows machine, it's going to open probably, if you're running Windows 7 or 8, it's going to open Windows Mail, the program. If you have Outlook Express, Windows 98, Windows 95, it's going to open a program called Outlook Express. Okay? These are default email clients that are installed on Windows machines. If you have OS X operating systems, like an Apple, Macintosh, is going to open the Mail app or the Mail app application in your phone, in your iPad, whatever. Okay? So there are ways of controlling what the default email software you're using, but the tag, HTML tag, mail to, is going to open a program. Okay? To create a program that you defined that's going to send emails. One last thing on page 2-23, whenever links you have, you can actually see them in your assets panel. So on the assets panel, there's a third button to the left there. It's a little chain link button. And in there is going to show you on the page that you have, this is actually for the whole site. In this whole site, there are several links that are external to this page. This is just to this page, I think. I don't know why I have Blue Angels, because that's another page. It may be a link, external links. Yeah, these are all a list of external links on this whole website. So somewhere I have a link to the Blue Angels Navy.mil website, USS Alabama, but it shows me on the third one that I have a mail to link on this page. If I actually drag this out and make it bigger, it doesn't actually tell me which page it's on. Let me see if I can. Nope. This assets tab does not tell me where those links are. It just tells me that there are 3 links that are external to the site. And that's where they go to. Okay? Any questions? Who is past or on chapter 2, lesson 3?